welcome to the program. I'm Chris Stafford, and on this episode we're going to be talking to Jennifer Uteda, who is the executive producer of She Warriors, and she has just produced a couple of really fabulous documentaries, one of which is about SIRI Lindley, who of course is now the co-host of their new podcast, the SIRI BEK Show, and she was also a guest with me here on this program too. So welcome to the show, Jennifer.
Thank you. It's great to be here. Thank you.
And that's really how we connected, I think. It was through SIRI's documentary.
Yes. I reached out to you, and I also noticed you had a podcast, because I follow you, of course, on Twitter, and connected that way. And it's a miracle of social media.
It certainly is, isn't it? Well, I wanted to tell your story as well, Jennifer, because you've come to this point in your career where you felt that you wanted to share the stories of women and the amazing stories and from different backgrounds. We are not just talking about sports here. You have one and you're about to do another one that has a sporting background. But let's talk about how it all came about then and your background to start off with, Jennifer.
Okay, sure. Well, I've always enjoyed, being an artist, and I found video to be a way of, being able to communicate that. I've always kind of been a behind-the-scenes type person, if you will, and so that was a way for me to create, interesting projects. And so as I grew, though, I got into the marketing side of things. And so I've also done a lot of marketing for movies and television shows and whatnot as well. So I do have that. But She Warriors came about because I wanted to do something more long form, longer than just 2 minutes, like a typical trailer or a 30-second TV promo. And I wanted it to touch, and to help and inspire people. And so that's it kind of came out from that, to be honest. I just wanted to try to inspire more women and girls, and show them that, women, a lot of women in different areas of life, not just in sports, but in others, they can overcome things and they can, make their dreams come true. And really that's why She Warriors came about.
Talk a little bit about how you select your subjects for this series.
To be honest, it's funny. It's, it's very intuitive and I kind of listen to the universe as well, to be honest. And I just find them. For example, my first episode with a homicide detective, Julissa Trapp, I saw her on I was just flipping through the channels one night and saw her on Dateline, and I just thought, wow, she's so inspiring what she does in this basically a man's field, and it inspired me to learn more about her. And so I reached out to her, and she told me that she's only doing my project. She only did She Warriors because all the other people that reached out to her wanted to be salacious and they wanted to know all these details you don't need to know. And she's she's a very spiritual person, so we had a real connection there. And then I heard SIRI on Tony Robbins' podcast, and I just thought, wow, she's just amazing. I reached out to her, and it just all came together. It was almost too easy, and that's when you're on the right track.
Exactly.
I think so.
And really, they are stories just waiting to be told, of course, and
yes.
And I think it's the backstory. It's not just about the performance. It's the story behind the headlines, as we say. It's how they managed to overcome so much personally in order to be successful.
Exactly. And that's what I find so motivational. Another reason I started She Warriors is, to be honest, is I had a diagnosis of breast cancer recently, about a year and a half ago. And as I was going through treatment, and I'm fine. We caught it early, but as you go through treatment, you really start thinking about your life, and you start thinking, okay, you've been on the sidelines, to use a sporting metaphor. You've been on the sidelines for a while now. When is it time for you to do this? Because this has been I've wanted to do this for a long time, create something like this. And so that just really motivated me to just finally get off the bench, so to speak, and get in the game, to carry that metaphor through. And so when it hit me what I was going to do with it, I knew that I had found my purpose. To be honest, I knew it. And I was just really overcome with emotion for someone when you realize that you have this inside you, nothing can stop you. And so that's been the case. Nothing's going to stop me. I'm going to keep making these episodes. I'm going to keep moving forward. And I have all of the ability to do all this. And so, and that's also been a major force behind why I started this.
And as you say, all the tools and the tricks of the trade and everything that you need to produce and self-fund this, then, Jennifer, for now, it is a self-funded exercise and it's available on your website, shewarriors.com. Of course, we'll put a note in our show notes accompanying this episode so people can find you and watch these videos. But talk about this when so often women produce short form videos, and shorter than your 11, 12 minute version even. There's a lot, obviously, that goes into it when you have to go on location, in the whole production exercise of it. And when you're funding this yourself, give us some idea of where you set your parameters.
Yes, I have my own camera. It's a high quality camera. And I also have my own professional editing. I'm also an editor. Obviously, I've worked I work with a lot of clients still editing and things. And so what I'll do is I'll just reach out to whoever I'm going to interview. And if I feel I'd like some backup, so to speak, I fortunately, being in the industry for so long here in Los Angeles, I have a lot of amazing, talented friends who will come and help me. Or they'll work at a much reduced rate. So I get a lot done that way as well, in addition to just me doing most of the work myself. But I've always been the type of person that I just figure it out. No matter what comes up, I just know I can figure out what needs to happen. And especially with this type of project, people tend to come out of the woodwork to help you. And really, that's what's been happening with She Warriors, getting a lot of help.
Yes, and I'm sure there's probably going to be more, who get to know what you're doing that will step up to this, because it is a wonderful enterprise, and you're going to be getting guests from a whole range of backgrounds then. I know we're very focused on sport here, but hopefully when people go to your website to watch SIRI or anyone that is in the sports world, they'll stop and watch the other episodes too over time. And obviously, we're interested in the sport, so I caught sight on your website of your next guest, who is going to be from an equestrian background. So tell us about that.
Yes, Linda Montana. She's just an amazing woman. She grew up being a trick rider and toured with the Buffalo Bill show all around the world. When women just didn't do that type of thing. And I know her personally because I ride a lot, and she's a neighbor of mine. And so again, when I was talking about how sometimes people just come to you and it's just too easy, that's how I knew, I started talking to Linda more, and she's just so amazing on camera. She talks about some of the things she went through with men when she and how she overcame that. Just some of the things I noticed that you also just did a podcast as well about how women are perceived maybe in media or whatnot. And so she actually goes in and talks about that as well. So, and how she overcame that. So she's really an inspiring person that she really goes for it. And I want my viewers and audience to just see that that's possible. Even if you're afraid to do that, it's possible just to go for it. And so I'm excited to hers. I'm working on her episode now, actually.
And how frequently will you release these videos then, Jennifer? And how long do you expect to go? Right now, I know that the series was around 11 minutes. What are you aiming for with these?
That's what they're going to be. They're going to be between 5 and 12 minutes. I would say 12 to 15. I'm trying to make sure that, in today's world too, a lot of people don't have a lot of time in their day, and I want to make it easy for them to watch. Eventually, though, I'm looking to do more long-form documentaries that also focus on topics that can help women and girls overcome something that may be a challenge they're having. But that's down the line. Right now, I'm just focusing on anywhere from 5 to 15 minutes tops for these episodes.
And how frequently?
Every month.
Right. We can find you on shewarriors.com. Obviously, are you anywhere else? So if anyone subscribes to YouTube, can they find you there?
Oh, yes, thanks. Yes, and also I'm also creating weekly videos as well, inspirational videos that are shorter, like maybe a minute long, featuring snippets maybe of interviews that I've had with these women, or showcasing a woman that I've found extremely inspirational, and I'll do a quick video on her. But yeah, my YouTube channel is She Warriors. So if you pop in, if you go to YouTube and just search She Warriors, you'll see my channel and it'll come right up.
And we should mention that we're welcoming you as a media partner to WiSP, so there'll be a link on our website too, on our partners page, and we'll be sharing these videos. So I'm curious, of course, because of our sports perspective, if you have any other sports swimming on your horizons that you're thinking of right now. Are any coming to you?
Oh, definitely. I mean, Kendra Fisher, who was just featured on this podcast, she's definitely, I'm going to be reaching out to her for sure. And so she's on my radar right now, but I personally can relate to athletes. I've grown up playing sports. I still play sports. I'm a runner, and I can relate so much to that mentality of the challenges you come up in life, and athletics really helps me personally get through that. So athletes for me are really easy to talk to.
And of course, sport is very character forming, as we know, and look what it did for a lot of these women. I mean, we mentioned Kendra and SIRI, of course. I mean, it has been life changing for them to have that. And I know from my personal experiences too. I mean, my life in sport has, my personality, everything that I've become is because of sport. So we have a lot to thank it for, for sure. And the amazing stories, as you are beginning to find now with these sports women. It's going to be a lot of fun, Jennifer. I envy you the process.
I thank you, and I envy you too for all you've done and for your wonderful network you've started. And it is fun, and I have a feeling we're going to be talking a lot because you come across these people a lot, and that's what I'm relying on. I'm relying on people to reach out to me, and once I investigate, I know. But I get a lot of people coming to me, and that's what I love. I love people being a part of this, and that's how it grows. So.
Absolutely. Well, we look very much forward to our partnership, Jennifer, and seeing so many more of these wonderful videos. They're beautifully produced and great stories already. When would this new one be released, the one with Linda Montana, Jennifer?
I will keep you posted, but it will come out before Christmas.
Perfect.
You know,
all right.
as I get closer to the editing process, or as I get finished with the editing, I'll know more. But I'm looking at before Christmas.
Okay,
Definitely.
and if our listeners do want to follow you on social media and keep up with the new releases and what you're doing there, how can they do that?
Oh, thank you. Yeah, that would be at She Warriors USA.
Okay, that's on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Presumably you're everywhere. Absolutely.
Yep, and then my URL is just shewarriors.com.
All right.
That's my website. But thank you, and I'm going to add WiSP Sports also to my website so we can share the love. It's
Absolutely.
great.
We love that, Jennifer. Well, the very, very best of luck to you with She Warriors. You're doing a wonderful job. Keep it going, and we will share the love here. And thank you so much for taking the time to come on the program. It's been great talking to you.
Thank you very much.
And as I mentioned, Siri Lindley is the co-host of the SIRI BEK Show with her partner Rebecca Keat on WiSP Sports Radio. And the second episode of this series will be coming out on Wednesday of this week. So do look out for that on WiSP Sports Radio, which you can find on any podcast player such as iTunes, TuneIn, Stitcher, Spotify, and Google Play. The SIRI BEK Show is one of 30 shows here at WiSP Sports Radio with over 700 episodes reaching a global audience of 1.5 million. And this has all been made possible with the wonderful help that we get from the many athletes around the world and in different sports, as well as the professional journalists, of course, that make WiSP Sports what it has become today as the world's largest podcast network for women's sports. And you can also watch videos or read our blogs and articles on our website at wispsports.com. You can follow us too on social media at WiSP Sports. We're on all the major channels. And if you'd like to reach out to us here, you can write to us at info@wispsports.com. We always love to hear from you if you have any comments, questions, or suggestions. I'm Chris Stafford. Until the next time, thank you for listening.